Let's talk Roja Parfums, more specifically Apex, the fragrance that's been getting a lot of limelight over the past few weeks all over the internet. People are talking about it. I want to know in the comments right now, what are your thoughts on this fragrance? Are you curious about it? I'm going to share my thoughts with you today fully on what I think about the fragrance and if it's worth you guys checking it out. Let's go. Welcome back to another video. Max here. Today is all about Roja Parfums Apex, which is their new fragrance release. Before we get into it, you guys know every time there's a new Roja Parfum release, people get talking about it. Over the last few years, since 2013 when the brand started, it's always been, associated with quality, great smelling scents, greatly blended. There's a lot of great stuff, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, Scandal, Fetish, Elysium, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's got incredible release. There's no two ways about it. It's very sought after for a reason. Now, Apex, it had people talking about it a little bit. They weren't very enamored with the presentation. I have to say, it is different. It's like Roja's taking a different approach, a different step here. Roja Parfums Apex is what you're gonna get here in the box. Always quality with the boxes, you can't deny. Beautiful presentation. You have a booklet that comes with it talking about the fragrance. It's a lot of details. There's no question about that. Like 𝗏𝗏, it's a niche company that was founded right around the same time, 2013, and they put a lot of details, a lot of thought into their presentation. So you have to give kudos. This retails for 295 euros, available in one size, eau de parfum 100 ml, which is roughly about $300 USD. It's going to have this gradient greenish kind of a bottle, darker to a lighter green, but very greenish. The cap this time around, not gonna have the gold cap or the Swarovski crystal cap, but it's gonna be a very heavy quality, dark metal, gunmetal, kind of a matte finish cap, which I do enjoy. Sprayers always very good with Roja Parfums, so quality is definitely here. And you're gonna attest quality from the get-go. As soon as you spray this fragrance, the introduction is going to be one of those fragrances that's gonna be room-filling, bold, green, very fruity. I, for one, really enjoy the introduction. So let's talk about what we get out of this fragrance, guys. So we talked about the presentation, we talked about pricing, let's talk about what we get here. From the introduction, you're going to test the quality of Roja Parfums, and it's going to be, as they called it on the website, a Chypres fruity fragrance. Yes, we have a lot of Chypres components here. It's going to be a little mossy, green, almost old world. I wouldn't say aged, but it's definitely more mature. It's going to be fruity, it's going to be a little bit spicy, but mostly green, mossy, and fruity. When it comes to the fruits, we're talking green apple and pineapple up front. The pineapple is going to be very prevalent. Nothing to do with Aventus here, just so you guys know. Comparisons are not welcome here to Aventus because this has nothing to do with Aventus. It's definitely its own thing. In fact, I'm going to tell you in a little bit what this reminds me of and why I love it so much. The fragrance definitely possesses the powerhouse feature boldness that you would get with fragrances from the 70s and 80s. The heart here gets a little bit floral in the account of the cistus / tuberose. Definitely a gorgeous jasmine note that's very indolic. The base is really, from the heart into the base, is really why I love this fragrance. I think it shines the most for my taste, on my skin, because this is where you have a flourish, a pour of green components like galbanum, which makes it resinous, fir balsam, which I love, that coniferous green, piney, pine cone kind of a vibe. Patchouli. There's a lot of green items here that makes this a great green. Cypress. There's a gorgeous note of cypress / sandalwood here, which is green, inviting, very elegant, very sophisticated, and creamy as well. So who do I envision would wear Apex? Who would really enjoy, and who do I see really wearing this fragrance and loving it? I think somebody between late 20s, 30s into the 40s would really appreciate this fragrance because it really borrows elements from really, powerhouse fragrances like Zeno from 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, And I'll tell you what this reminds me of, guys, which really made me love this fragrance. It reminds me, especially from the heart into the dry down, to a great favorite fragrance of mine from Tom Ford, which has been discontinued, Tom Ford Italian Cypress. A video or two ago, I told you guys about that the new Givenchy Reserve Privé kind of takes the market share or place of Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum in this part of the world. I would say this fragrance here really does a great job when it comes to a fragrance that resembles Italian Cypress. It has a lot of those components. Somebody young might not really appreciate this because of those green, little rough elements that we have here, this leathery green kind of undertone with the moss, the patchouli. It might harp into old school, kind of aged if somebody's really accustomed to the vanilla ambroxan and the tonka, most of the fragrances that we see teenagers wearing today. This is definitely going to be more elegant and more sophisticated, and I think somebody that appreciates this kind of genre will definitely love this, especially if you like Italian cypress like I do. One more thing to keep in mind is I do get a bit of a lavender or lavandin kind of a undertone or nuances to this fragrance. So it is a Chypres fruity, but it does have a quote-unquote barbershop slash Fougere tendencies for sure. Performance was definitely good, definitely powerful fragrance. And I like to see that a lot of the companies these days are going back, as we know, fashion, you know, the industry is very cyclical, and I think everyone's going back to Chypres and Fougere, so I do enjoy that. This is going to give me 2 to 3 hours projection very nicely. And then as far as longevity goes, we're talking about 8+ hours. If you spray your clothes, I highly recommend, because it's gonna give you a great scent trail and sillage. Already told you guys what this reminds me of. In fact, I'm gonna leave a little note here for Roja. If you ever watch this video, Roja, I wanna ask you to please, just like you did with this fragrance, you harped into the old school Chypres and you took maybe inspiration with Italian cypress, or maybe you didn't take inspiration, but it does remind me of that fragrance, which I love. Perhaps you can take a little book inspiration from Moss Brash from Tom Ford Private Blend. It has been discontinued, and release something maybe Apex Noir, Apex Extreme, you know, embodying those elements from Moss Brash, which I sorely miss. As a fan of old school fragrances, Powerhouse, vintage stuff, I do enjoy this one a lot. I think it borrowed elements and borrowed from the book of the greats and made a great little fragrance that's kind of like, people frowned upon, they didn't like the presentation, they didn't care for the fonts. Guys, it's important is the juice. That's what we come to love, that's what we wear, that's what we enjoy. So I'm telling you right now, the juice is good. This is a winner in my book with capital letters, especially because it's very similar to an old favorite of mine. So overall assessment, this is great stuff, guys. Definitely get your nose on it. If you have similar taste to mine, if you like the old school Fougeres and Chypres, you are going to enjoy this. There's no two ways about it. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you guys enjoy the channel, please leave a like, subscribe for more, hit the bell so you guys get these videos straight into your feed. And as always, remember, wear what truly moves you. I'll see you right back here again very soon. Take care.